Today on Profs Huddle, we'll catch up what you may have missed with the Rowan Spring Sports, and we'll take a look at how the Profs have fared thus far halfway through the spring season.
Plus, we'll recognize Rowan athletes who have been giving national and regional honors.
This is Season 6 of Profs Huddle, and Episode 3 starts now. Welcome to Profs Huddle. I'm Spencer Reyes.
And I'm Joshua Counts, and we have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Even though the fall semester ended on December 22nd of 2022, the Profs are still adding more hardware to the shelves in the SB Gym. Starting with the players on the pitch, the reigning NJAC Women's Soccer Defensive Player of the Year, Emma DeMays, earned her first All-American honors when she was named to the D3Soccer.com All-American Third Team. Throughout her sophomore campaign, DeMays led a defense that only allowed 6 goals on the whole season, and she was a key factor in the Profs being crowned NJAC champions. Now for the Rowan's men's team, senior captain Chad Yates also earned All-America Third Team honors that helped lead his team to NJAC gold. The Profs midfielder recorded a career best 14 goals, 7 of them which came from game winners. If he chose to forego his remaining eligibility, this honor will cap off a stellar career year for Yates in the brown and gold. Switching from the land to the pool, freshman Ella Pennington was able to add one more accomplishment to an already impressive rookie campaign. She was named NJAC Women's Swimming Rookie of the Year. Pennington was the only woman to represent the Profs at the NCAA this year and competed in multiple races in Greensboro, including the 200 backstroke, where she broke the school record. Her fellow Prof Jack Watson also made a big splash in the NJAC this season. The men's leader earned himself 7 all-conference records for this year, including first team accolade in 100 backstroke. Watson also made his way to Greensboro to compete in NCAA this past year as well. He earned himself an All-American honors and broke a school record just like his peer.
The softball team played 2 games at home last Tuesday against the Rutgers-Camden Scarlet Raptors as they looked to extend their win streak even further, but they didn't need to use their bats to do so. We'll start by showing a little love to the D, Abigail Pawlowski. Spectacular diving catch to hold on to the shutout in this one. Can't get the double play, but not a big deal. Then we get Grace Shakaitis getting in on the fun, throwing out the arm and over to the rafter out at the plate. What a tab by Corey Haig too. Spike that ball. Game closing down now, a ground ball. Shot over to Brianna Bryant in the hot corner, across the diamond. First base, deep of squall with the stretch and the out. Now Rutgers down to the last out of game 1. The ball's chopped back to the mound. Lutz snags it, throws it over to first for the final out. A shutout win and complete game for Riley Lutz in this first one. High fives for everyone. The Profs shut out the Scarlet Raptors 6-0, totaling 9 hits across 6 innings. Rutgers-Camden struggled to cross the plate even though 8 batters landed on base. Game number 2, inning 2. Bree Bryant standing in for the Profs. Rutgers pitcher gets her sign, delivers, and hits her. Yikes. Haig moves on to second. Bryant takes one for the team. Now runners on first and second base for the pitcher, Emily McCutcheon. She'll show off her best Shohei Ohtani impression and put this one on the grass to load the bases early in the ballgame. Profs would strand 3 in the second, but it didn't matter. Corey Haig had an RBI in the 3rd inning that scored Liz McCaffrey, pushing this 1-2, nothing Profs. McCutcheon went all 7 in the second game and captured the Profs to a 6-1 victory, thus completing their sweep of the Scarlet Raptors. Run was able to score another 6 runs in game 2, but couldn't get a shutout as he let up 1 run across 8 hits. She's also our Profs Huddle standout player once again, boasting to a 6-1 strikeout to walk ratio against Rutgers-Camden in 7 scoreless innings. Game number 2 spotlight performer is none other than Liz McCaffrey, who hit 500 in the game, touched home twice, and scored 2 with her bat.
Rowan baseball team has been firing on all cylinders this year with an 18-6 record through 24 games to play. 2 of those wins came from this Saturday in a doubleheader against Mount Clair State. Game 1 belonged to Zach Grace and Zach Grace only. The junior got hot quickly, throwing gas up in the zone, resulting in a swinging strikeout to end the first half inning of play. It didn't take the Profs long to get the bats going either. With the bases loaded in the bottom of the first, Pat DeFisciani hit one in the left advance Rowan's first run to the plate. Grace continued his masterful pitching performance, delivering a filthy breaking ball, which tallied another strikeout for Rowan ace. Rowan's support was on his way to a fifth as Phil Sedalis was back again and smacked a single into right center field, scoring Tyler Cannon to increase the Profs lead to 2. Zach Grace was a pest for the Redhawks hitters retiring them one by one as he struck the batters out by 12. He wasn't the only star for the Profs as Sedalis tallied another RBI single to hit right center field, bringing in another run. Risky base runner left the sophomore in a pickle that he got out to stay on the second and give Rowan another shot on the base. Dylan Mariah hits an RBI double down the left field line to finally dig in the grave of the Redhawks and increase their lead to 6-0. The man who finished the job for Rowan was none other than Zach Grace, retiring the side and throwing the complete game shutout as the Profs took Game 1. Game 1 was an easy victory for the Profs as they scored 6 runs on 10 hits. The Profs pitching staff left Montclair State out to dry as Zach Grace struck out 12 batters. The first game featured heavy offensive presence, which was followed up by the Profs in Game 2. Dylan Mariah got the team going early as he hit an absolute bomb to left center field that sailed over the wall, giving Rowan a quick 2-0 lead after an inning of play. Fast forward to the bottom of the fourth, though, where Tyler Cannon ripped the ball into the left center gap, scoring Carson Harcourt as the Rowan continued to add on to their lead against the Redhawks as they go up, 6-0 through 4. The Tyler Cannon hit train didn't miss a stop as he proved wide the bottom of the fifth as he slapped his bat, launching a ball into the shallow right field, placing himself in the second and scoring another 2 runs to make it a 10-run ball game. Harcourt also had some fun of his own, ripping the ball into left center for another double that would bring in a 12th run. The Profs take Game 2, 14-1. Game 2 was even a bigger mess for the Redhawks as Rowan bombarded them with 14 runs on 18 hits. This win is tied for 3rd most runs produced in a game by the Profs this season. I think we know who our Game 1 standout player is, junior pitcher Zach Grace. He threw a complete game shutout with 12 strikeouts, allowing just 4 hits. Game 2 is when the bats came alive as Jason Morgan went for 4 for 5 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. The Profs improved their record to 18-6 with both victories this past Sunday. This past Saturday, both men and women's outdoor track and field teams did very well. Our Profs Insider will tell you more.
Hi, I'm Shomer Ben Israel, and today I'm here at Richard Wacker Stadium here in Glassboro, New Jersey. Today, the Profs will be hosting the Oscar Moore Invitational. From the last meet, the Profs brought home some personal records and some NCAA rankings. Today, they look to carry that same confidence going into today's meet.
The confidence that Rowan possessed really pulsated through the whole team for the 8th annual Oscar Moore Invitational. For the men's side, personal records were meant to be broken, as 13 members of the team hit a PR in their respective events. Events being the high jump, javelin, 3,000-meter steeplechase, 1,500-meter run, 400-meter run, and hurdles. Amongst them that stood out was Marquise Young, who hit a PR of 14.72 seconds in the 110-meter hurdles, which placed him and 2 other members in the top 20 for Division III in this event. Senior Jameer Beasley placed second in the 100-meter preliminaries, but took home first in the 100-meter final with a time of 10.72 seconds. I was able to catch up with the guys after the meet. How do you guys feel going into next week's meet?
I feel like the performances today definitely, prove to a lot of guys that we have the strength, we have the speed to be able to keep up with some top talent at the D1 level. But especially next week when it's going to be warmer outside, we definitely expecting to get even faster. Everybody look stronger in their events and just, stand up to the competition and, show them that rowing D3 track is something to deal with.
I mean, I love running against Division I competition because we can prove to ourselves that we can compete with anyone. So, next week when we go back to Princeton, I'm looking forward to competing again with them and beating them this time.
With your final meet, Jameer, being at home, I know this is a special one for you. How special does it speak to your career here at Rowan?
For me, I kind of had a shaky start to my college career, so to be able to be at Rowan for 4 years has been a dream come true. A lot of memories that I'll cherish for my whole life, but especially today, especially with my family here, a lot of alumni that's come back that have been around since my freshman year, and then even guys like Marquise, we've been around each other since my sophomore year of high school, so that's a lot of time. So being able to be out here with everybody, and especially having Princeton here, I just wanted to show out and really put on a good show and perform well for my family, my close friends, and everybody that was here. So had to go out with a bang.
As he and the Profs did go out on a bang. On the women's side, they shined through the competition as 5 members PR'd in their respective events, even as well a top Division III ranking. The top standouts were Jasmine Broadway and Emily Galvin. They both gave some insight on how they are prepared for each meet.
I just try to stay out of my head because I think the difference between last season and this season is definitely my mindset. I'm a lot more positive and I just genuinely believe in myself, and that's definitely the key to my success this year.
Confidence and persistence, that's the main thing, right?
Yes.
Coming from indoor, I had to get used to the hammer and just being outside again. And I was happy with the opener. And then to finally see I'm creeping back up to where I know I can throw is really exciting. We've been, out here every day, every week. Our lifts are getting harder, and I'm getting stronger, and we're really working on technical things. So it definitely, my preparation is showing in all the work that we're putting in. Me, Coach Liz, and the rest of the throw squad.
Confidence and determination was piercing through the Profs today, as Jameer Beasley placed first in the 100-meter dash. Marquise Young also placed top 20 in the 110-meter hurdles. Emily Gavin has also placed third in Division III for the hammer throw, and Jasmine Broadway has also PR'd for a 25.61 in the 200-meter final. I'm Shomarel Ben Yisrael here at Richard Wacker Stadium. Now back to the studio.
Lacrosse has been off to a hot start this year, and last Wednesday featured a game between our 8-3 Profs and the 6-5 Riverhawks of Susquehanna. Rowan's early success this year is no fluke. They're a high-powered offense who score goals and score them quick. In just 30 seconds of play, the Profs caught lightning in a bottle as senior Michaela Donnelly tucks her first goal of 3 in the game in the back of the net to give Rowan the early lead 1-0. Susquehanna had no answer for the offensive explosion that was about to take place. But defense was another strength of Rowan's as Elena Corson picked off a Riverhawk midfielder and advanced to the Rowan's offensive side of the field to draw a foul that would lead to a goal by Corson, who had an amazing 5 goals on the day. Speaking of goals, they basically become second nature to the Profs, as freshman Fiona Lockhart buried that shot into the net to increase Rowan's lead to 7-2 through 2 quarters of play. The domination continued with goals everywhere as senior Jamie Kuchera nets one in to make it 16-7 late in the fourth. But Rowan came to play as they took this one 18-8. Rowan put on an absolute clinic as they scored multiple goals in every quarter. They also spread the love as Lena Corson had 5 goals. Molly Green and Michaela Donnelly and Jamie Kuchera had 3 goals each. Hannah Lombardo had 2, and Gianna Corson and Fiona Lockhart each had 1 as the Profs improved to an 8-3 record and moved to 4-1 at home. While the action on the field has been at the front of the minds of all Profs fans, there is some breaking news to report coming from the Rowan men's basketball team. After leading the Profs over 5 seasons, head coach Joe Crispin is leaving Rowan to return home to his alma mater. Less than 2 weeks ago, it was announced that the former Penn State University star was heading back to Happy Valley, as he is set to join the staff of the Nittany Lions' new head coach, Mike Rhodes. This news is coming right off the heels of Rowan's strongest season in decades, as the Profs' average of 91.4 points per game was the 4th best in the nation and helped lead the team to a 24-6 record and their 2nd NJAC championship under Crispin. Despite the fact that Rowan was knocked out in the Sweet 16, Crispin's performance impressed Rhodes enough to make him the only coach on his staff next season that he didn't bring with him from VCU. During his tenure with the Profs, the Pittman native became the 4th winningest coach in program history, racking up a 114-54 record over the span of 7 years, taking the brown and gold to the big dance 3 times and earning honors such as D3Hoops.com Atlantic Region Coach of the Year. At this time, there has not been any confirmation on who will be taking over the helm of the reigning NJAC champions.
We wish Coach Crispin the best of luck in his new position. But shifting back to Rowan Athletics, let's take a look at what's coming up with Prof Insider Shomer Ben Yisrael.
Thanks, Josh. Rowan is looking at a great spring sports weekend. On Friday, April 14th, TCNJ Baseball comes in to visit Glassboro, and track and field heads up to Princeton for the Larry Ellis Invitational. This meet continues onto Saturday the 15th. Also, later that day, women's lacrosse will battle at Ramapo at home, softball will play a doubleheader at Montclair, and baseball plays again, but this time an away doubleheader against the Roadrunners of Ramapo. The Profs have been dominant in all sports all season. Let's see if they can continue this success going into this weekend. Spencer?
Thanks, Shomer. That's all we have for this week's edition of Profs Huddle. Tune in for our last episode of the season on April 26th, as Rowan Sports will be preparing potential playoff runs in the NJAC. For the hardworking and talented Profs Huddle crew, I'm Spencer Reyes.
And I'm Joshua Counts. See you next time on Profs Huddle.